a boring ass business that treats your customers well. Build a business where you don't have to sell it, where you enjoy it and you can be in it for the long run. That's how you build a good career, is when you're like committed to something for the long run.
Welcome to this episode of the Cuttin Thru podcast. My name's Elliot. I'm the host. On today's episode, we're with Mark Eckert. He is a business owner here in Charlotte. He owns numerous businesses, all in or around the music industry. And today we're going to talk about defining your own success as a business owner and a little bit of marketing in the marketing podcast. But let's dive right in to Mark.
Marketing really just comes down to being as lazy as possible, for me at least.
I was literally thinking, like in my mind, either last night or this morning, like part of the reason I'm successful at certain things is because
he's successful, everyone.
On certain things.
No, I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you.
It's built on top of a foundation of laziness where I'm like, all right, if I need to do this, what is the quickest, like easiest way to like get this done? Yeah. And I think Bill Gates said something like, if you have a really hard problem to solve, hire a lazy person to do it and he'll find the easiest way to.
Yeah. I've always found this like really interesting because, so like I'll go to these conferences and like, you know, my businesses are, it's in a very specific category of the music industry. And usually like all of these other businesses at least have a head count of like 15, but normal is like over 50 people or something. And I barely have anybody working for, you know, I just have like a handful of contractors and I just automate everything. But the weird thing is that if you look at like these large companies, right, huge head count, whatever, they have to do so much marketing. They have to do not only like compounding stuff, but linear stuff where it's just like post more and do more deals or whatever, just to pay for their costs, you know? Whereas if you just keep your expenses low and you just do one thing really well, you don't really have to do that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And there's like less pressure. Oh shit, we need to do this much revenue.
Yeah. It's like, if you think about it, like if you have, I don't know, a team of like 50 people and 45 of them are in operations, because you've been too lazy to figure out systems or just more efficient ways to do it. Or like you have a huge ego as like a CEO. It's like you have 5 people that now are responsible for driving more revenue to pay for, it's like overhead walks on 2 feet.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just like, I don't know. I've kind of online really too. I feel like in the past couple of years, now I'm just going to complain, but I feel like in the past couple of years, you have like all these like, you know, business gurus posting all this stuff. And, you know, I don't know. It's every time I kind of just look into like what their lives look like, I'm like, you are literally in the hamster wheel.
Yes.
The goal in business, not like, you know, I'm in the music industry, so it's like I have my goals in music, but then there's like business goals, obviously. But living a life where you do a good amount of money per year and you're not bothered and like people aren't badgering you all the time, it's a lovely life.
Yeah.
But I don't know, in the past couple of years, like business has gotten really cool. I remember 10 years ago, dude, like before we even met, business was not cool.
Like being an entrepreneur.
Oh, it was gross.
Like,
no, that's what you called somebody who sold drugs. It's like, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, no, you're not, dude. Like, you know, it's not shirts in the back of your car you're selling, dude. Like, but I don't know. Like now it's gotten like really cool. And so there's so much ego attached to it. And it's just, I don't see a lot of business strategy behind growing businesses in the past couple of years. I see a lot of ego.
Yeah, and look what my business got me.
Look how many people I'm demanding to do things in a conference room. Gross, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what is the point of all of that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think a lot.
You and I have connected over this a lot.
You know, especially like in America, like it's always like grow, more,
So
more,
lame.
bigger. Yeah, I want to grow my business, I guess. But like at the end of the day, like, what's the point of growing the business if, say, like my business is doing twice as much revenue, but I'm making the same and I'm more stressed? Like, what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
I think some of it is ego, unless maybe you're like, well, one day I
think
want to
most
sell
of
my
it's
business.
ego. I think most of it's ego. I feel like people choose a default goal
Yeah,
if
that
they don't.
sounds good. I need $1 million in revenue.
Why?
They
Why?
pull a goal out of thin air. They don't like back into an actual goal.
I
for
talk
them.
shit, but I don't mention names. It's just like how I roll. I know this dude. I met up with him in New York. Grabbed a meal, and like he's. I don't want to point him out specifically, so I'm going to be more vague about it. But he has a very high net worth, and he's. I don't know. He just like broke down over lunch, and he's like, "Dude, you've made it." And I was like, "Why?" And like, what are you talking about? Because he's like, has all these write-ups on all this shit or whatever.
Sure.
And I'm just like, bozo, right? He was saying, well, dude, like, you're doing this amount, in revenue. Like, I don't even look at revenue. I just look at profit.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you're doing.
Which on social media, a lot of people like to talk about how much revenue their business is making.
Oh my God. When these assholes are like, I have a $50 million business, go fuck yourself, dude.
Right.
If I make 1,000, okay, here we fucking go. If I just were to make an S Corp, okay, I have an LLC. If I were to turn that into a corporation and just like, I don't know, made 100,000 shares, right? And I bought a share I made another LLC, bought a share for $1 million. I'd have what is that, $1 billion company?
Right.
Is that the math? I don't even care. Like, I don't care if the math is wrong. Like, it's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, so I'll meet these people. They'll be like, I'm worth $40 million. According to who? Who's gonna buy your fucking company?
Right. Right.
It's just stupid. Everybody, like, there's all these default goals where it really, again, just so often it comes down to like ego and insecurity. And with that, you have just such short-term thinking.
Yep.
And so they take on these investors, and it's the stupidest deal ever. Like, I just know so many people who've taken on venture capital or private equity. And again, I'm friends with all that. I'm friends with these funds. They all speak to me because they know I don't want to raise any money. I just grab drinks with them and just like learn about their models. And I'm like, at the end of the day, the whole reason why venture capital exists, the whole reason why private equity exists is just how you hire a third-party marketing company to manage your marketing dollars, investment funds for retirement funds for grandma and grandpa to pay their assisted living facility. The money that like pays for those, they just have to beat the market. Mm-hmm. They have to, beat bonds. So here's some money we're going to throw to this fund. Here's some money that we're going to throw to this fund. And as long as they beat what the market does every year, we're going to throw them next cycle. Yep. So you'll hear like these private equity or venture capital funds have their own raise with whatever capital partners. And again, it's just like third-party money. So all this to say, that's the business model, right? So you see all these like venture capital firms or private equity, and it's like, oh, we help the founders, we care about the founders. I guess until you've underperformed what they need for their money. It's kind of like the saying, it's like, I love you, but I love me more, you know? Uh-huh. It's like they have to make their own money again. And so, but the thing is, like, venture and private equity, that can work in some industries, but overwhelmingly, I fundamentally believe, at least in my industry, in music, that does not work. And the reason why is because, like, you don't have an infinite amount of people and infinite money to make.
Right.
The entire music industry does like 50-something billion dollars a year. Honeywell, which is based in Charlotte, and honestly, they have a pretty ugly building. They do $50 billion a year. That one
building.
Yeah, it looks like a fax machine, dude. They do $50 billion. You couldn't get a nicer building?
It's on lease.
Yeah, they moved down from Jersey, so it was clear they wanted just to save money. But the reason why I'm getting to this, I see a bunch of people accept venture, accept whatever, and it's never from like business fundamentals. It's, I want to be a big deal. I want a Forbes write-up. Mm-hmm. I want everyone to see me speak at conferences and see how important I am. And when it always, oh God, I'm really going for it. What it always breaks down to is like, what did you do before? And like a lot of times it's just ego stuff. It's like they didn't, maybe they weren't in music or they didn't do some stuff. It's like it's just this thing where it's like, this will make me feel validated if I do this. There's these really successful people and they're saying that I'm good enough if we do it this way. And it's sad because it ruins customers' lives. It ruins their employees' lives. They fire them because they hire 50 people, but inevitably it doesn't make enough money, so they fire everybody.
Yep.
And then they ruin their reputation. It's just like, build a boring ass business that treats your customers well. Build a business where you don't have to sell it, where you enjoy it and you can be in it for the long run. Yeah. That's how you build a good career, is when you're like committed to something for the long run and you actually want to help your community. Like, anyways, sorry. I'm just sorry. That was a rant.
That was a good one. That's what the show is for.
Was it? Was it? Well, it's a clip, baby. No, everyone's going to sign up.
I think, it's like really, it appears to be really sexy to like, ooh, private equity is interested in me. And like, then you start to think, well, who kind of cares about yes, like you said before, well, I love my employees, but I kind of love this for me more or as much.
Yeah.
And I think, like sometimes the best businesses are the unsexy ones, and the ones that can stay in business for a super long time are like the people who are selling the screws for this table that you don't think about.
Right.
It's not sexy, but it's like profitable and it makes money. And I think there is a point where like the goal shouldn't just be business growth for the sake of business growth. It should be like, okay, like, well, am I happy? Do I have time to do what I like to do?
Well, also it's about right-sizing your business. So I have a business called ThatPitch. We distribute independent music into stores that sell music for filmmakers. That's the easiest way to explain it to a layperson. That's never going to be $1 billion business.
Which is fine.
Great.
Yeah.
Fine.
Right.
But it could be, like, if I really cared, it could be, multiple millions a year, and it'll probably top out there. I don't need $1 billion company. Hell, I don't need a couple $100,000 company. I live in Charlotte, dude. I already own my home. So like, what am I going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I already volunteer, dude. I've made it.
Yeah. Like, and I think there's like a point, like, seems like you're kind of at in your life where like, let's say like, unless you 10 or 20x'd like your net worth or income, it's really not going to change your life that much. So like,
okay, here's something. If I had so much money, I would like go to Bali for a couple months. Money's not going to solve that problem because we got dogs and my wife doesn't want to leave them for 3 or 4 weeks.
Right.
Like, if I had $1 billion, I can't pay her off for that.
Yeah.
Like, just to leave the dogs here in a kennel. I wouldn't want them in a kennel. I'd probably want some babysitter. They're great. Yeah. No, I don't want to bring the dogs to Bali.
You'd have a private jet that you could bring the dogs on.
Okay, well, you know what? Maybe I've changed my entire
maybe you do need the $1 billion.
Maybe I do need $1 billion. No,
I never thought about the private jet.
But it's like any times like people talk about retirement or like whatever. It's just, if I get this, then I can do that.
Right.
And they don't realize, like, dude, you probably already have enough. Or like, a lot of times in business, money does not solve the problem. Like, here's the thing is like, money is kind of like gasoline in a car. You should really only notice it when it's low. But the thing is, gasoline's not going to change the performance of, like, your RAV4 is never going to be up to snuff with, like, I don't know what's I don't care about
Porsche
cars.
911.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's never going to outperform that, you know?
No matter what gas.
Yeah.
How much gas you put in.
So if people don't think about like people talk about like product market fit, does your product help the market that would buy it? People don't think about like business owner fit, like, you can have all the money in the world, but like, if it's making your life miserable, that sucks. Also, I'm in the music industry. If I had way more money, it still doesn't help me get better relationships with certain decision makers.
Right.
What happens is like just being tight with them and like being friends. I don't like, you can't buy close friendships.
Is there a point where like maybe like you could buy your way into a room with those people where then you like your personality
But then they know.
seals the deal?
Then they know.
But if they're there too?
Yeah, but like there's certain industries like banking, for instance, where like it really comes down to like money. Like music though, people want to work with their friends and if the product is good in that order.
Got it.
100%. In music, it's like a childhood dream. When you're 5-10 years old, do you think about becoming an investment banker? No, nobody does.
Probably
like,
not. Yeah.
If you do, I mean, good for you.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett, sure.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
cool.
Yeah.
You know, but like in music, it's like a childhood dream, and it's a very difficult industry environment.
Mm-hmm.
You will work 10 or 20 years. You and I have both. You know how difficult it is. It's like I worked really hard for 10, 15 years to finally land on like some big records. You know, I got my dumb trophies. I got my plaques on the wall. Like I objectively achieved things as a producer. You don't want to just like, once you're there, you're like very protective of like, I worked really hard for this. I want to be around good people because you just take so much shit for years to get to that point. So people like sacrifice a lot to stay in music. A lot of people in music have job offers outside of music, but they don't want to leave.
Yeah.
It's like a huge identity.
I'm a musician.
Yeah. It's like,
this is who I am. My art is important. Yeah.
Even if you make a bunch of money outside of the music industry, you know, if your dream growing up was to be in music, there's always, unfortunately, a part of you that's like, ugh. Which is, it sucks. It's like a curse.
Well, and I think I've as I've gotten older and I've now worked with a handful of like, say 40, 50-year-old guys who like have good careers outside of music and they're still chasing that music and they're like, hey, you know, I'm finally got some money. I finally made that album and I don't know how to market it. And
it's like, damn.
But like, you're right. It's like an itch that they haven't scratched fully and it's still there. And that, like the success in their career or their business doesn't scratch the itch of like that childhood dream. I
think, you know, like the saying, like you kind of just get in your own way. You know, it's like the biggest thing in business, just get out of your own way. Like, this sounds awful, but like I really feel like how hard I worked producing, touring, like drumming, MDing, like, and I have those like, and I talked about this in therapy recently, like I have those like objective, like even if I think I'm a pile, it's like I can look at my trophies. It's pathetic, but it's just like, well, yeah,
somebody thought it was cool.
Yeah, you feel like a bag of shit today, but like a bunch of other people
who don't have trophies are bigger piles of shit.
Well, it's not. No, it's not like other people. It's more just like, well, I have like objectively given value. Like there's people who've enjoyed the things that I've been a part of. Like that's like very validating, especially when you play so many shows to nobody. Yeah. You make so many records that nobody really gives a shit about. It's really cool when like, it's like, okay, you know, I think the song I worked on today is trash, but I've had some that people do enjoy. That's really cool.
Sure.
Because like, you know, that like chip on the shoulder is formidably gone. Like in the business world, like I don't care about any of these trophies. Like I genuinely don't give a shit. And I think it's like, you know, maybe that's like a bad thing, but for me, like I think it's actually such like a competitive advantage because I really don't care if a deal happens. Like as long as my bills are paid.
Yeah.
Like I'm working on, speaking of marketing, it's not just ads or like, you know, everybody thinks marketing is like ads and emails and, you know, billboards or whatever. It's like, no, a lot of it is like strategic partnerships and like all these companies that I've talked to recently, everybody's very excited about doing it. Like I've made a far way in to like executive leadership to make all these things happen. And the feedback I just like constantly get, I'm not soliciting for it. They just tell me, they're like, dude, this has been like the easiest partnership because you just haven't sold us on it. You just kind of like you don't care. I was like, I don't.
Like, yeah, the deal's the deal, man. Like,
if it helps you, great. If it doesn't, just like tell me why, and maybe
I'll see if I can change it. And if not, then
then we'll still grab a beer. You know,
a tea is what a tea is.
Yeah,
yeah, right. Yeah, I think that does give you it gives you leverage and it gives you peace of mind. And there must have been a point like at the beginning when you're starting this venture, you probably not. You don't have the ground to stand on.
Hell no.
Even if it's just a mental thing.
Here's the thing. Money is a multiplier. It's not a magician. Like if you have a good ad, right? You can throw $1 million at it. It's going to be great, right? If you have a bad ad and you throw $10 million at it, you're going to lose all of it. It just multiplies. That's all money can do. And not even necessarily that, because like personal relationships, being tight with people, having reputational capital, you know? Mm-hmm. There's like a lot of different forms of capital. People think capital is just money. It's not. That's like just such a short-term way of thinking. And that's how a lot of people build their business. Like, if I just have more money, it's going to help. No, it doesn't, dude. Like, you can't, if I'm a new company in music, at least in my industry, I don't know other industries, but like if I'm in music and I have this new thing and I have like $100 million to do something, right? That's not like, I'm not going to have buy-in from people because I don't have trust. And trust and like reputation is like literally just years of how it objectively looks is like testimonials, I guess. But really what it comes down to is like, when people first think of you, do they smile or are they
cringe?
Yeah. like, you know,
that fucking guy.
Yeah. It's like, are they happy to think of you or are they pissed off?
Yeah.
That takes years. I don't know. Maybe there's somebody out there who does know how to just do that. I haven't met one.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you have to do good work for a long time. I see so many people that are like, oh, I need to raise money.
No,
you don't.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves.
That's the last thing you should do.
Yes.
Go to the bank. Like, get the best relationship you can have outside of, you know, your wife or partner or whomever is literally your bank. Like, have a good relationship there. Talk to, you know, the head of business lending. Like, get to know them. Figure out what. I literally took the head of business banking at my credit union out for dinner, and I was like, dude, what are like red flags? Like, when somebody like goes to you, what are red flags of, you know, what people present? What do you hate to see? And then also, what do you love to see? Mm-hmm. Can you give me a list of like a bunch of things where you're just like overwhelmingly, oh, we want to partner with them, we want to invest in them, like we'd like to lend to them. Mm-hmm. And like, I have a list of just things that they love. And so it's like, okay, if I need capital or whatever, I know before I approach them like what they're looking for.
Yeah. Well, and in your mind, you've already determined like, well, the cost of getting capital from a bank, say at 6% or whatever, versus the cost of giving up 10, 20, 30% up to a partner.
Oh
like,
my God.
What's the opportunity cost there?
Oh my God. Yeah.
And
I see so many good businesses and really cool founders and owners, and their lives just get fucking ruined, man. Like, when you accept, sorry, this is about, I know we're supposed to talk about marketing, but like,
talk about whatever.
My man. When you accept venture capital, you have three options. Either the business fails, you sell the business and you're ultimately removed, or it goes public and fuck,
you're
that.
removed.
Well, it's even if you stay there. I mean, Facebook went public, you know, and Zuck stayed, but like, do you want Zuck's life? Dude's a wacko.
Well, some people think they want that because I want to be a millionaire.
It's just a default goal. Yeah. Like, figure out what you actually want out of life, dude. Yeah. Like,
well, I think a lot. So
sorry.
I think a lot of people get their identity wrapped up into their business, where like
gross.
They don't well, I am my business. This is who I am, and they can't like separate the two parts of their life.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and so they don't like know what like business for me has always been like a means to an end, like a vehicle to get, like when I was younger, I really wanted money, but it was really because I wanted like the security and like the freedom that came with being able to tell somebody, no, I don't want to do this.
We moved around a lot growing up, and I just never wanted somebody else telling me that I had to like leave my city. Like I wanted to build a community, and like every couple of years we had to move. It was less about money, and it was more about just control over my own trajectory in life.
Yes. Yeah. And I think I've always kind of felt, or maybe since I was a professional adult, like I felt like I'd rather make $50K working for myself than $100K working for somebody else. Like at this point, especially because I like work remotely. I work with people who I like.
Well, also if you get to be your own boss, you get to decide what kind of boss you get to be.
Yeah, good point.
Hey,
I'm gonna be a lazy boss.
Unlimited
today.
PTO.
Madden just came out. I think work is gonna pause.
I'm playing at a jazz club tonight, and for me, that's market research, baby.
Yeah.
I gotta be with my community. I went to this weird ass show last night. Wackos playing at Snug. Did I learn something? I don't know, but it was really cool.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
that's why I'm tired today. But.
Well, I want to go back actually to like your point about like people thinking like, oh, I just need money, I need capital, I need a partner that will solve all my problems. A lot of folks over the years have like had some sort of like off the cuff, hey, I'm thinking about starting this business type of conversation with me. I'm sure you get a lot of that.
Yeah,
and everyone seems to think that I need to raise money, and it's like before you even. Like now there's no excuse.
Oh my God.
Now you can use like Lovable or ChatGPT to literally build your entire business out.
Yeah.
And then instead of saying, if only I had money, I could check off all of these things on my list. Now in literally a weekend, you could put together a business plan, a basic website for like what you think. And the conversation of saying, here's what I've done already. Take a look at it. Let me know what you think versus here's my idea. Like everybody has an idea. Few people can execute. And just having money isn't going to change that. And if you don't have the systems in place to like know what's going to work for you and your business, having more money isn't going to solve that.
Yeah.
So many people fear starting with nothing and having no clients, and they think, well, if I just had 25 grand, I could set up that one campaign, and there I'd have 10 clients. So like you need to like cut your teeth on the business and get something rolling, know what works, know what doesn't.
But here's the problem, Elliot. Everybody wants to be Gordon Ramsay and nobody wants to do the fucking dishes. You know? Like, and this isn't me like working harder. I don't work very hard. I really don't. Like
Work smart.
Yeah. Like, well, I figure out how to do something once. I'm good at really two things. Everything else, like I'm not very dynamic. I'm good at two things. I'm good at pattern recognition. If I see something done, I can kind of like objectively see the system behind it instead of paying a PR person, or like maybe I'll pay to get a PR campaign done once. And then I kind of like really look into it and I sort of pierce the veil and I'm like, there's no
just doing this.
There's no magic behind this. It's all bullshit. You know?
You have a system, and I'm paying you because you have your system, and I'm paying you for your time to run it through the system.
Yeah, and all a business is, it's a system for value delivery to someone as a service. So I'm good at pattern recognition. I'm also, it's not that I'm good at something, it's just like, I find people very fucking interesting. Like, I love talking to people and talking with people and hearing them talk about themselves. Like, I'm so excited about that. I don't know why. I really don't. Like, my wife constantly is like, dude, you need to like calm down. Cause like I'll go to a party or something. Literally by the end of the party, I know
everybody.
I know everybody's trauma by the time of like, I know everybody's childhood trauma by the time I'm out of there. Yeah. So I really love meeting people. I thought everybody enjoyed that, but I guess they don't. Like, I don't know. I'm like severely extroverted.
What I've noticed for myself, when I was young, I was that way. And as I've gotten older, I felt like, for me knowing you and seeing you in environments like that, you get energy.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It gives you energy to like go and talk it, and you get energy out of the cool, interesting story, right?
Yeah.
For me now, I don't not enjoy doing it, but for me, I feel the energy going out. So by the end of the night, I'm done. I'm
Yeah,
like, I've met enough people. I'm fucking tired. I didn't have a bad time. I'm just now looking to do something else. like my time here is done, and I need to go home.
Oh,
now.
it's just like a huge dopamine surge for me. I'm just like I'm like an addict. I'm like a person addict.
Yeah.
Like I love talking with people and like meeting them.
And it's my wife is that way. She loves, you know, Laura's out. She gets energy off of that type of environment. So like she's really. Actually, funny enough, is like really understanding of me where I'm like, there's like a middle point in the party where I'm like, okay.
That's Shira. She's she does this.
Yeah, my battery's empty. Guys.
Yeah, no, she does the poke and like I'm like that, but that's like I'd say that's very
fair.
common.
Yeah,
you know. But the point is like you figure out not like what your strong suits are, but it's just like what comes naturally to you.
Yes.
It's like I've just always tried to like recognize like systems of how do things work. I just find it interesting. And I love, you know, meeting with people. You know, some people would say, oh, you have like an engineering mind and you're good at networking. I don't look at it as that. It's just like, I like to know how the sausage is
Yeah,
made.
right. This interests me.
Yeah. And so I've really, you know, lent those leanings of what my mind naturally goes to. And I just go all in on that. And that has worked for my business and what I do. But I'm also terrible at certain things. And kind of going back to like the business owner fit, because I love meeting with people and I love having a good conversation, I don't want to have tough conversations, which means I can't have really employees, you know? And
everyone's doing great. Everyone's amazing.
Yeah. No, I've had employees before and like I've almost gone under because I just, you know, the business was doing terrible and I just want to give raises because I, you know, hey, they're proposing to someone soon. It's like, let me help you get your ring. I'm like, shit, my bank account, you know? So what typically if you like enter a business mastermind or like one of these things, they'll say to you, usually, not always, but usually they'll say to you like, well, you know, do you want to become that person? Like, do you know, that's kind of the typical question is like, do you want to become that person that can handle, that can be in the conference room? And, you know, most people think about it. Me, I'm immediately, fuck no. Like, no, I like that empathetic part of me. I don't want that to go away. I think what happens in business too, people start very empathetic part of their community and they, you know, they really talk to their customers, whatever. And as they get more levels of, you know, people under them, they get more and more removed and then they become a psycho, not because they're mean, but because that is literally part of the job. You have to be able to lay off people right before Thanksgiving. And those kids are not going to get Christmas and Hanukkah presents because...
Or Kwanzaa.
Because... Or nothing. Because your shareholders need to show profitability and you screwed profit that year, but it's really easy to look profitable if you fire everybody. Right. You know? So it's like those are things that come with that job. I never want to be in that position. So I've decided from the start, I'm building my business where it continues to serve my community. It's about music. It, you know, serves me and my family and my friends, you know, and if it ever becomes not about that, then I'm not into it anymore. Yeah. You know, and that's okay. That is like totally valid.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's how it always was done for the most part. Decades ago, it was very common to just like own a deli.
Yeah. And just
that
was cool. Yep.
You
made
was
$90K profit.
Passed down from generation. Yep. Everybody made their bagels, you know?
And that was fine.
And then there were the megalomaniacs like Rockefeller, you know, who just had severe, you know, if you ever read Titan, you know, some people are like, wow, he was such a good guy. I thought he was crazy, but I learned a lot, you know? But now it's just like, I learn a lot more talking to the deli owner than I do talking to like startup bros.
Yeah.
I love like coffee shop owners. I love taking them out for lunch. Like I'm just like, dude, tell me about.
How'd you end up here?
Yeah. And it's always like, it's so cool. And I learn so much more. They are so much closer to their customer. They know their community. They know what they want. And like you talk to startup bros and it's like, they're just saying a bunch of 3-letter acronyms. And like, that's needed. Like but that can't be your only thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel that a lot, and I think
Like a renegade, dude. Rogue.
and the thing is, like, there are certain people where like that is what gives them energy. That's what gets their juices going. So I'm not saying like, oh, that's dumb, but it's not for me. I'm with you. Like, I think I value my time and like my freedom as there is a limit of like, okay, well, I need this level of financial security, but I don't need more money at the expense of my time and hanging out with my dogs and doing stuff like this.
After your bills are paid and realizing like, okay, realistically, if I had the option later in life to like formally retire, I have the option to.
Sure.
You and I are probably always going to be doing
something.
Yeah.
Some
like,
level.
Something. Like, even if it's like
consulting
or like when you're
running this podcast
or like, being an adjunct professor at a community college, something fun.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you are in tune with something that a lot of business owners or musicians aren't. Now, it kind of alludes to like the trophies.
Yeah.
And things like that, where you're like, well, I've made hundreds of songs that didn't connect the way I wanted to.
I have like 20 songs that have done something and probably like 500 songs. No, way more than that. If you were counting like demos and stuff, like thousands, just went nowhere.
So there's like an element of if you are only doing it for the recognition from outside that comes when you think it's going to come for the result or whatever. If that's why you're doing something, that is really, really hard to sustain. But you can stay making 500 songs that don't connect because you just loved making music at the time. And like you loved what you were doing. And then, you happen to get outside access, but that's not your why.
I think yes, but it's also like, it's not an or thing. I think it's an and thing. I think you start off really passionate about something and you meet people that are in a career sense ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start pushing their goals onto you. And so you take on their goals that they heard from other people that told them what their goals should be. And you forget why you were doing this to begin with.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And so that just becomes your goal. My goal was never to actually work. My goal literally was like, if I had one indie pop record that got more than 1 million spins on Spotify, that'd be sick. That was my only like career goal. Most of it was just like, I just want to tour and like make music with my friends and travel a lot.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like a travel junkie. So, I just built my business where like artists would have to like fly me out to their country to work with them. And it was just built in. Like that was great. But yeah, like you start taking on everybody's goals and you're kind of told like, this is what making it looks like.
Your next step is this.
And it's cool. It like, it gives you confidence, like validity in your craft, I guess, from like a commercial perspective. But like, it's kind of cool, like to like learn that it doesn't really matter at all. And it's just like, okay, how can you have like a lovely life? It's about like defining like what your actual problem is. Like for a while, like, because we're in Charlotte and I'm originally from New York, I was thinking constantly about moving back to New York. And my whole thing was like, well, I have like a really good community there. And I was like, well, before I move back, let me take a couple of years like investing in my community.
Yeah, let me try to build a community here.
Give me like a year or 2 years. Like, let me try to get a community. My wife and I, like Shira and I, we talked and it's like, okay, what are couples here that we really want to spend more time with? You and Laura were part of that.
Yes.
Some other friends of ours, like, And what do? We hung out more, like, and how could I volunteer for this music industry conference here?
Mm-hmm.
Meet a bunch of people there and like get, dinners together with a bunch of people. And like, now it's like, oh my God, I love my community here. And now I'm just like, why would I go?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the problem. It's like, you have to figure out what your problem is and you're not gonna, that's all introspective stuff. And until you figure that out, like, go to therapy.
Yeah.
Go to therapy. Like, you'll save so much money by just going to therapy.
Or at the very least, go talk to ChatGPT for a little
Something.
while. Talk to something.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, I think you make a great point. I think a lot of business owners, their identity gets wrapped up in business, which then gets wrapped up in growth, which means the more money, the more validation, the more success I am. But they're not happy. And
Oh my God, no.
Like, not all of them. Some of them love it, and some of them are totally happy. But like, this is a perfect example back to what you were talking about before, where the guy in New York, high net worth, probably the executive kind of guy, like playing that game, doing what the steps he sees as making it in New York, and then he sees like your life, and he's like, actually, dude, like this is what making it looks like.
What was crazy is when I was talking to him, I was just saying like, well, what do you think would make you happy? Literally,
Less.
No, in his brain,
I need more. I need 10 million, not 7.
No, his net worth is allegedly like somewhere like 50 million or something.
Did you play for the Yankees or something?
No, but I was just, no, nobody on the Jets is worth that much. No, but, the team's not even worth that much. No, but he was like, I don't know, maybe like 100 million. I was like, dude, you're literally just gonna have twice as many, maybe even 4 times as many problems as you currently have. And he just like wouldn't hear it. He wouldn't hear it.
Like what were his problems? Like,
he was
stressed. I don't have time. My wife is a pain in the ass.
It was a lot of like family problems, like. And again, I also know very wealthy people that absolutely like have wonderful lives, genuinely. But it's because they did like that hard work. It's like money is kind of like pot. It's like, I'll smoke pot to feel even better, but I'm not going to smoke it to feel better. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's not going to fix the underlying, I don't feel good about myself.
Yeah, today. Like if your bills aren't paid and like you're actually stressed, like, yeah, money will solve that. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
At a certain point, though, and like I'm not like super wealthy or anything, like I do well for myself, but like, I just have freedom of time. Like I can do whatever I want all day.
Yeah.
That's a great place to be. If that money comes with strings attached, it's not green money. Like that's not, money is only helpful when it's green. Like people don't like their 9-to-5s, not because it doesn't pay well. It's because they have to show up at a certain time. Somebody is their boss.
Yeah.
So
they don't have full autonomy.
Yeah.
And if they're done at 3, they can't leave at 3. Tough shit. Stay till 5.
Right. And so like that money's not green. Green money is like, you can do whatever you want and nobody's in charge of you.
Sure.
So anyways.
So okay, as we're coming to a close here.
Business.
What would you marketing. You have a successful lean business. What would you leave a potential business owner listening to this? What is the last piece of advice you might lean them to? Like, if you see these signs or if you want these things, stay lean. Don't focus on growth. Like, is there something that comes to mind?
Oh man, you shouldn't be miserable. Like if you're annoyed most of the time, like the business is not serving you, and it's not serving your customers.
Is your business only serving your ego?
Yeah, that's mainly it.
It's cool to be an entrepreneur. It's cool to... maybe in some people's minds.
Yeah.
I'm my own boss. My business is worth this much.
Just make your own goals. I think that's the main thing is like make your own goals. And it's not what you're going to read in Forbes or I guess for me, like Billboard or whatever. Just like make your own goals and write down your own goals.
Define your own version of success.
Yeah. And like I'm guaranteeing you, it's not what you think what you have been told is success.
Awesome. Well, Mark, thanks for coming, brother.
Yeah, bud.
My pleasure. And yep, thanks. End it like that.
Sick.